It's looking grim, to be honest, for you, for him, for your family, because now they have hate in their heart. And we know where they're going. You can't have hate in your heart, guys.
Jordan's messages.
Sponsored by Anderson University.
So much has happened, yet so little has happened since we have last spoken. As you can see on the whiteboard, we have launched an incredible podcast. I would say, Josh, that it is the greatest podcast that has ever happened. There's a section on the podcast, Josh, called The Message. Not to be confused with messages. This is just The Message.
So this was a segment that we weren't sure if we were going to keep on the show.
And we both joint answer it. And we try and give you a platform.
Oh, thank you.
To say your thoughts about the message. So if you guys want to know Josh's thoughts about the message, not the messages. Those are sacred.
Get a microphone.
Josh gets a microphone. And you get to hear his amazing thoughts. Let's get to the messages. Hi, Jordan and Josh. The denomination I grew up in did not encourage opinions in women, and the women did not encourage it in the children. I realized this at an early age, so I stopped sharing any opinions I might have had. After a few years, I started not really having any to begin with. Now that's a minor problem. People get annoyed with my inability to make decisions and things like that. So my question to you, oh wise Jordan, is how I become more opinionated. Not just sharing opinions and preferences, but having them in the first place. Thanks. How do you have an opinion? See, this is what's so funny, guys. If you met me in real life, like if we just came up on the street and you said hi to me, it would seem like I had no opinions about anything at all. I have opinions on messages. That's where I get it out. But in real life, I mean, if we're talking, I'm not telling you anything. So look, in some weird way, we're both slightly in the same boat. I don't like confrontation. I will avoid that at all costs because it's very awkward for me and I don't really quite know how to deal with it. When it comes to you though, how do you gain an opinion? Separate yourself a little bit from those people who are making you believe this about yourself, that you can't have these, you can't think for yourself. And it's a little difficult. I don't know how old you are. But when you're old enough to do that, then you just need to kind of hop on board and embrace that discomfort for a little while. And you will slowly just kind of start to turn into a more opinionated person because you're more self-reliant. And that's just the way that it goes. You just have to separate yourself. Just separate yourself a little bit. Then over time, maybe separate yourself a lot. And then maybe never see them again. And then you'll have so many opinions, you're gonna be that kind of person who just hates your past, hates all the people, and then you're gonna be on Twitter and you're gonna just be complaining about the Christians in your life, and it's gonna be annoying. So don't go that far, please God, because I'll unfollow you. I don't care if I'm following you on there. I might be. I followed like 1 billion people on there when I was 25, 23. Was that a misjudgment on my part, Josh? A lot of people have gone totally nuts now. So if I'm just gonna be honest with you, if I see that you've kind of gone slightly nuts on Twitter, I will unfollow you. I don't even go on there, but if I open it up and I see a homepage and there's somebody saying something weird and crazy, unfollow.
Wow.
I don't even care. Wow. I just unfollow. I don't even look at Twitter, unfollow, and I'll move on without even telling you my opinion. Now, guys, let me ask you a question. Do you want to go to college, but you feel like college is going to hate you? We are here to tell you that Anderson University in Anderson, Indiana, gets it. Anderson is a faith-based school that has a small feel. We're talking classes where your professors actually know your name. They have a ton of general and specialized degrees, and they're well known for their nursing programs. They are experts in RN to BSN programs and have openings right now. Plus, if you're into sports, like I am, they're recruiting big time right now for their sports programs, male and female, for freshmen and transfer students. AU feels like a family. Now, look, I started college going to a school that ultimately didn't fit me, so I transferred and finished out my degree at a small Christian school. Instead, if I was gonna spend every day somewhere, I wanted it to be in a place that felt like a community, like a real family for me. AU offers scholarships to students who attended a Christian high school, so you should definitely get in touch. If you wanna see a video we shot with more info about the school, click the link in the description below. AU is looking for students like you. Don't miss missed the boat on college because you think college doesn't fit you anymore. AU fits. If you want to get all the info, go to the link in the description to get started. Again, click the link in the description to get started now. Let's get back to the messages. Hello, Jordan and Josh. So my boyfriend and I, both age 17, have been dating for 5 months now, and I really like him and our relationship. To preface, I set a conviction that I would never date someone that drinks. A few weeks ago, we were out to dinner and someone offered him a drink of alcohol and he drank it. I was really upset at him, and so I talked to a handful of people for advice, one being my mom. She got very mad at him and his family for what had happened, and now the whole situation has blown up into them not accepting him anymore. And them, her family, basically forcing us to break up. It has caused so much unnecessary tension and stress for everyone. I don't want to leave because I really like him and I forgive him for what happened, but I feel torn between my family and our relationship. What in the world should I do? This is hard because, like, you kind of created this problem in some way. You went and, like, told everybody, you're like, he drinks, can you believe he drinks? And they're like, you need to break up with this dude. And you're like, no, I love him. So that's the little thing that I'm a little confused by. I'm very confused by that. This was a setup, but you set yourself up, and now it's out of your hands, and you can't make the decision because you're 17, and your parents can force you to do anything. So I'm not saying not to tell your parents everything, but if you wanted to have a little bit more freedom and maybe like talking to your boyfriend first, like, hey, what was this about? Was this like a little drink, a little bit of wine at 17? I mean, I don't approve of that, but is it like this guy is just downing, you know, making out in the back, doing God knows what, you know, or... You know, it's different. Those are two very different situations to most people. To me, they're exactly the same. Not really. But in some deep part in my brain, I do believe that. I try not to, though, Josh. I try not to. I do. I swear to it. I try. So, honestly, I would be in the same situation as you. And I don't know what I would do, to be quite honest. It is a little weird though. If you didn't know that this guy like drinks and then somebody just comes up and is like, hey, here's some alcohol. You're 17. He's like, thanks. Drinks it. That's weird. I don't like that. But I don't like throwing people just under the bus because I do it too much. It feels so good when you do it though. But it's not right. We can't do it. So we need to give people grace. I don't know what you do in this situation. It's pretty, it's looking grim, to be honest, for you, for him, for your family, because now they have hate in their heart, and we know where they're going. You can't have hate in your heart, guys, and this family hates him. They hate him. Maybe you can talk to your family and say, I don't even know if you can because he was drinking at 17, and your family is not going to be down with that. So, honestly, it's kind of a lost, it's lost. I hate to say it, but it is a lost cause. You might just need to wait and see when you're older or just move on. That honestly might be what you have to do. I'm sorry for the situation, but it's not actually your fault. But you did kind of create the situation a little bit. Listen to our podcast, Thinks. It will make you think. It'll make you think hard, very hard. And then you'll start to think about how you want to keep watching it. And how you wish that we had been doing this since 2019. And if we had been doing it since 2019, then you think, how many episodes would they have? And it would be thousands of podcast episodes.
We would have had to stop during the pandemic though, because we couldn't be together.
Why did you bring up the pandemic to me again, Josh? Gosh, help me. Don't be messy. And leave good messages.